So my name is Scarlett Houston. I'm 36 years old. I'm at Fanshawe for social service work. I identify as a transgender woman, so I have a gender that is different from the gender I was assigned at birth. As far as sexuality goes, I am a lesbian because I am with my wife. I came out in February to my wife about being trans, but before that I'd been feeling a little bit different for the last few years. Feeling like, so I would imagine myself as a woman and a little bit more. I used to cross-stream a lot as a kid, so there was always something a little bit different, but I never really realized it, and I kind of pushed it down for a lot of years until there was an event in February that just kind of made me face it, just head on, and from there I haven't looked back. My family's been mostly okay. I've come out to everybody now. It took a little while to come out because it can be scary, especially when there's family involved, but my close friends knew right away. My work was very, very supportive with me, letting me know that it's fine if I, because I let them know this is who I am, and this is how I'm gonna dress, and if that's gonna upset you, you tell me now, and we can part ways amicably. And they were like, you dress however you want, and so that was really nice to hear. Came out to my classmates. I had a few that they thought it was a practical joke at first, because I just showed up on camera, wearing my hair and makeup, and they're like, are you serious right now? And I'm like, absolutely. Yes, I'm trans. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. For me, the biggest fear is not passing, even though every trans woman I talk to tells me that passing is not the goal, which it's not. I had to learn very, very quickly that the stuff I'm doing is for me, not for cis people. A big thing about transgender people is because their gender doesn't match up with their gender assigned at birth, the most we have to go on is gender roles. So passing is basically being able to have people see me as a woman without me having to tell them that I'm a woman. I think one of the biggest reasons I hadn't come out in the years prior was, I'm being 30, 36, rights have queer rights have come a long way since I was a kid in the 90s, and watching sitcoms where the gay characters or the trans characters were the butt of the jokes as opposed to the main character with, actual stories, right? So seeing that kind of stuff, and that's, when you're a kid, that's the kind of stuff that sticks in your mind. I'm pretty comfortable expressing my true self. Some days I'm more comfortable than others. There's days where I'm kind of paralyzed from fear to going out to the store. But there's other days where I'm like, no, we're doing it, and this is how we're doing it. So I live in a smaller town, so I'm always afraid that people are gonna look at me weird. If I were in a bigger city like Toronto or even London, it might be a little more commonplace for people to see it and a little less shocking. So I don't wanna, everybody here at Fanshawe has been awesome. All of my professors have been super supportive. I came out to them one at a time. Over virtual class in the Zoom classes, and they were all very, very supportive and happy for me. And that was last semester. That was closer to February, like when I first came out. And all the students have been great. Accessibility services has been great to help me with accommodations during my transition, because transition can be very tricky because like I said, there's a lot of anxieties. Also, the medications can take a toll on you as well. So. They've helped me out with accommodations to make sure that I can do my best and succeed here at Fanshawe. Wearing a skirt in public, I think I've conquered that one pretty well. It's been, growing up, cross-dressing seemed like a taboo thing, like something I shouldn't do because, you're a boy and boys don't wear skirts, and all of a sudden, 25 years later, I'm like just able to do it without even thinking about it, because that's how I dress. I hope that my story can inspire queer people, because I was in the closet for so long and it was tearing me up, and I hope that they can see that if somebody who lives in a small town who goes against norms like a person like me, I hope they can realize that they can do it too, even no matter where they are. Well, except for the few select countries where they probably shouldn't, where it's a little safer not to. But I really hope that people can take, solace in the fact that if I feel like if I can do it, anyone can do it. So my relationship with my family has been okay. I haven't spoken with my brother in a few months, but I don't know if that's him being busy or him not wanting to talk to me after I came out to him, but I just haven't called his house. I've been trying to text him and he hasn't responded, so. But with my wife, at first it was a little bit rocky, but we've made great strides together in being together as two women, and we're more in love now than we've ever been. And even she says that she can see the biggest difference in the world after I came out. The relief, the depression, all those feelings that I was feeling, that I was bottling in, just kind of started melting away over the last few months, and I've become more open and more confident and more in touch with my emotions and stuff, and it's been nice. My aunts were really nice. I never thought that I was so afraid to tell them because they're, you know, an older generation, and I didn't think they'd understand or know what was going on, but they were nice. They called me up and made sure to know that they made sure to let me know that they still love me, and were, you know, super happy with me being my true self. If I could leave a message to those struggling, I think the message that I would leave those who are struggling with their self-acceptance is to find a community wherever you can to help you figure out who you are and what you want to be. There's no right or wrong answer, and just because you're not out now doesn't mean you're not going to be out 20 years from now. There's an old Twitter meme about, you know, the best time to delete this tweet was right after you wrote it, and the second best time is now, and that kind of applies for coming out. I wish I would have came out 15, 20 years ago, before puberty, before all that, but I didn't. I didn't know that I could, but I did come out eventually, and since then it's been great. So even if you have to wait, it's not an issue. Just find a good group that can support you, and find a good group that can help you find out who you are. The biggest thing that I would like to talk about, if I could have a moment, is to talk about trans rights, because right now they are under attack compared to those of the rest of the LGBTQ community. Trans rights are being dissolved across the globe in places where you wouldn't think it would be, like in the UK and in the United States, where, you know, we would have thought that these first world countries would have a lot more acceptance of those who are different. And right now there's huge backlash against trans people in the UK. There's huge trans backlash against trans people in the States, particularly in spots like Tennessee, where they're passing bills to, you know, stop trans youth from transitioning. And if I were down there, I'd be mad, I'd be marching, because if I'd have known that I could have transitioned at 14, 15, and that I wouldn't have grown up with the male body that I did, I would have taken that opportunity, right, to do so. And they're trying to take that from kids who know who they are. After we've explored this for the last 50, 60, 80,000 years, there's been people that have been genderqueer. And we know that it's a thing, and we know that these medicines can help the trans youth feel more comfortable in their bodies, and they're stripping that away. And it's kind of upsetting. If you can, you know, sign those petitions, and this goes out to you know, lesbians, gays, bisexuals. Your trans brothers and sisters need your help. We need you to sign those petitions. We need you to spread the news. We need cis allies on our side to make people feel better. And that's one of the biggest reasons I went into social service work, was to work with the queer community and make life better for people, because I never had that chance as a kid, because I never felt like I could express myself that way. But I want to make sure that people can express themselves that way.